travel is always a pleasure to browse today, and here we have a lot of 6 pocket-sized tourist souvenir view books that would have been purchased in the 19th century by a person visiting these locations. This is Paris, 30 views, beautiful embossed raised relief covers with gilt ornate title. These are all lithographed views in an accordion style format. And here we have a similar production for Antwerp, and these have gotten separated, which happens quite regularly on these types of booklets because the weight of the text block puts a lot of strain on the fold line intersections, and consequently the text block tends to separate over time if it's not handled very carefully. These are all lithographed views. These 2 books, this Paris and this Antwerp, are probably from the 1880s or early 90s. And here is a German Die Welt in Bildern. It's the world in pictures, and these are tinted lithographic views. These are, again, 1880s, perhaps to 90s. And these have a nice tonality to them. Interesting printing colors here. It's very unusual for color lithography. And again, we see this same phenomenon of how these the text block weight can cause it to separate. That's a pretty straightforward, easy way to there is an easy way to rejoin these from the back, just using thin tissue paper. There's Amsterdam and Rotterdam before it was bombed to oblivion in the war. And so this one here is the whole world reviews. And here we have a different view book of Paris from the same era. And here we see the same phenomenon of the separation due to the weight of the text block. And we have these lithographic views that date from the 80s or 90s in the 19th century. There's the Eiffel Tower, so we know we can date it by that. And here is a photo album. These are all collotype photographs mounted to heavy cardstock with identifying views. These types of albums were very popular in the late 19th century. And oh, there's a great one of the Eiffel Tower and the Ferris wheel there. There's many views of those, so you can even have the same book, but they have different views. And this one is Le Havre, France, and we've got a small assortment of views here. And this lot of 19th century view books is now available online from me, Brian DeMambro.